The stars are shining bright on Washington Full Circle once again. This time it's the very talented, very charming, and very funny Phylicia Rashad. I'm Ferman Patterson, and Washington Full Circle starts right now. She's a Tony Award-winning actress, singer, stage director, and producer. But before all of that, Phylicia Rashad won America's Heart and multiple Emmy nominations for her role as Claire Huxtable on the long-running sitcom The Cosby Show. I sat down with the incomparable Phylicia Rashad here in Washington in a jazz-filled gallery at downtown's museum. We talked about her iconic role in television history and other achievements in our Celebrities in the City interview.
And the 2004 Tony goes to Phylicia Rashad.
Phylicia Rashad, we are in the museum where television is honored, and you have honored the television industry with The Cosby Show and just your general presence. How does it feel to be a television icon?
I never think of myself that way. If I did, I think I'd be in a lot of trouble. So I don't know how it feels.
But you are. And I guess one of the things, too, is that The Cosby Show was, and the family on The Cosby Show, the Huxtables, were considered role models.
Mommy! Hi. What'd you bring me?
Nothing for you today.
Mommy! What'd you bring me?
Nothing for you today.
Okay.
This is for Vanessa. It's typing paper. Would you give it to her, please?
She's at home.
No? Well, why don't you just put it on her bed for me, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Why do you think people still consider you and that family role models?
One of the things I liked most about that work was that it was fierce and fearless in demonstrating and in showing and portraying how good it can be. How good it can be. And even in the midst of all that goodness, there are circumstances and there are situations, and Vanessa's going off to the wretched, and Denise is trying to get a car, and Theo's got a funny looking shirt and an earring, and Rudy wants a dog. I mean, there's all these, you know, and other things that happen through the years. But I think that is what was so wonderful about that show, because it showed how good it can be.
Yeah, it was terrific. And lately you've spoken out about television today, situation comedies today. Tell us about your thoughts about what's going on in television as far as comedies are concerned.
When I was a student at Howard University, I was studying classical Greek theater with Dr. Snowden. And he asked one day, "So, class, what do you prefer, the tragedies or the comedies?" And without hesitation, I raised my hand up and I said, "I like the comedies." And he looked at me and he nodded. "Well, Miss Allen," he said, "I want you to know." No, I said, "I like the tragedies." That's what I said.
Okay.
Because I was an acting student.
Right.
You know, and Medea and drama and everything was like,
Very proper
yes,
acting.
I like the tragedies. Yeah, you know, thinking, you know, that's the deep stuff. And he just kind of, and he said, "Well, Miss Allen, let me tell you, tragedy appeals to emotion. Comedy appeals to the intellect."
That's interesting.
And it's true.
Very interesting.
And it's true.
Wow.
Comedy appeals to the intellect.
How do you feel about doing comedy as opposed to drama? Which gets your juices flowing more?
As long as it's well written, I love them both. You know, because life is a play of light and shadow. And life is a play of tragedy and comedy. Life is a play. So I don't distinguish in that way.
Well, speaking of plays, you've done a terrific job also on stage. Just about as good as you can get on the stage and plays like Raisin in the Sun and Gem of the Ocean. What's your favorite role so far on stage?
Aunt Esther.
Ah,
Aunt Esther in August Wilson's Gem of the Ocean. Yes. She is the most purposeful human being I've ever portrayed.
now August Wilson, of course, was one of your favorites. Was there something he did that you always wanted to do that you haven't got a chance to do yet?
Something that he wrote?
Yes.
Well, I've begun directing his plays now.
Yeah.
So, you know, that
The
man's
girl
the
can't
gift
help
that
it.
keeps on giving. You know, it's true. His work is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Not many people know that the gene has been passed on, that you also have a daughter that's in the industry. Tell us about her.
Well, she was born on a Thursday, tape day of The Cosby Show. They were in the studio taping, and I was in the hospital giving birth. She came in born on a work day. She grew up in studios with me and her father. And then later, when I began working in theater more, she was always there as well. So she always grew up around the work, watching the process, watching the work. And I think she must have liked it. Because when it was time to go to college, she chose the California Institute of the Arts and entered as a drama major.
Yeah. And she's also done pretty well, too. She's been nominated a couple of times for a Tony. Is that true?
Yes, and she's created music. She went to Sweden and recorded an album that she wrote and arranged, and now she's in and around New York performing her music as well.
Stay with us. Our Celebrities in the City interview with Phylicia Rashad continues when Washington Full Circle returns. As our Celebrities in the City interview continues, Phylicia Rashad talks about her role behind the camera, also working with her very talented sister, Debbie Allen, and a breakout star from one of her master classes at Howard University. Here's more of Washington Full Circle's Celebrities in the City interview with Phylicia Rashad. Now, you're not just in front of the cameras. You've decided to be behind the cameras as well. You and your sister, Debbie Allen, have a production company. Is that right? What is it called, and what is it all about?
It's called DAD, Dr. Allen's Daughters.
Whoa, like that.
Yeah,
like that.
It is about us. And it's about us.
Oh, okay.
And we made one film, performing in a film together, The Old Settler. And we look to do more work together in the future, not too distant future.
Yeah. Now, switching around a little bit, we're in a museum, but you've also been associated with another museum that is yet to open, American Museum of African American History and Culture. You were, in fact, the mistress of ceremonies there. What drove you to be involved with that particular museum?
Museums are very important. It's not dead information. It's not lifeless information or display. This is representation of human existence. This is representation of era and time. This is commemoration of history, of the way we have lived. Museums are very important. I grew up with a mother who is an archivist, among other things. So I've always had this appreciation for museums.
And an appreciation for education. Of course, I can't escape talking about Howard University. I'm a graduate of Howard University, and I know you are, as well as your sister.
Yes.
But you also went back to teach drama, is that correct?
Yeah, I was invited, Al Freeman Jr. invited me back for a semester to teach master classes every Friday. So after taping a show of Cosby, that's the second series we did, we tape on Thursdays. I'd get up early, get on a plane, fly down, and teach class in the afternoon, and then fly back home. And that went on for almost a full semester until I had to leave. Well, at the end of April, I left to go to Atlanta to appear in Medea. And that was a really great time teaching Howard University students. And that class, that was a fierce class of young artists. And Chad Boseman was in that class.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, too bad I wasn't in that class.
He was in that class. Fierce. They were wonderful. They were wonderful then, you know. You could see it. They were great. I think I learned more than I taught. And I've been asked to continue teaching. So I was the first Denzel Washington Scholar at Fordham University. I taught for a semester at Vassar. I go almost every year to Carnegie Mellon.
Ah.
Yes, I've conducted master classes at Juilliard. I mean, they invite me to come, and I come, and I enjoy it.
I'm going to have to invite you to come on this show more often.
And have the music playing when I do.
Yes, a little jazz.
Yes.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you about being in Washington. What are some of your favorite things to do, places to go in Washington, D.C.?
A lot of my favorite places don't exist anymore.
Oh, like what?
Like the flagship and Holgate.
Oh,
It's
man,
not
you're going
fair.
way back.
No, it's not fair. Do you know how many rum buns I consumed during my time at Howard? Do you know what those cinnamon buns meant to me? Not to mention the good seafood.
Right.
Okay, when I was a student at Howard, one of my favorite places to go on a date was the Jefferson Memorial.
Ah, romantic.
Very romantic, my dear.
That's a place you go to propose
My mother
to.
told me about this place because my parents met in Washington. And the entire time that I was growing up in Houston, my mother would tell me about the beauty of cherry blossoms. And she would talk about the memorials and the monuments and what a great place it was. And when I came, I found out it was true.
Ah. And one last thing.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants me to ask a question like this, a Cosby reunion.
We did that already.
Ah.
We did that years ago.
Yeah, but I mean an ongoing Cosby reunion.
I think he's on to other things like everybody else is.
Thank you so much for talking with us. It's been a pleasure for me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Up next, entrepreneurs are transforming the DC tech scene. Is it Silicon Valley East Coast? Washington Full Circle will be right back after this. There's been a major focus lately on the district's blossoming high-tech community. So check your zip codes because you may be part of Silicon Valley of the East Coast. Lindsay Washington with the latest on Digital DC.
Thanks, Ferman. I'm here with Shayna Glinzer, who's the head of Social Radar, and we're here with DC Tech Fund Meetup. She's going to discuss with me a little bit today about why we're here and why they're about to award a lot of money to a lot of amazing people that are going to kind of repopulate DC's social media scene and DC's tech scene.
Yeah, so thanks so much. I'm so glad that you're here, and it's a really exciting night here at MLK Library for a DC Tech Meetup. So I am a co-producer of DC Tech Meetup and have been working alongside of Digital DC as they plan to announce the recipients of their tech fund tonight. So we're going to have the mayor in attendance, and we're going to hear the winners of the DC Tech Fund, or the recipients of the fund, and then find out a little bit more about their companies, which is what we do at DC Tech Meetup. We have demos, we find out about different companies in DC that are bringing innovation to the city, and tonight we'll learn about the recipients and what they do.
Great. And what did somebody have to do to kind of become a part of this or to qualify to get these awards?
So the qualifications can come from Aaron Horn-McKinney, who is better at listing those off. But there was a group called the DC Tech Fund Investment Advisory Board who reviewed hundreds of submissions from different startups that were looking to relocate to the tech corridor along 7th and Georgia Avenue, and they were looking for funds to, jumpstart their company or to take it to the next level. So we've got a really nice mix of companies that are both a little further along in their lifespan and some that are a little earlier on. So it's going to be a really great mix tonight.
What brings us here to MLK Library tonight?
Well, we created a program called Digital DC that launched earlier this year. It was out of the mayor's 5-year economic plan to create the largest tech hub on the East Coast. And as a part of that, we wanted to create a marketing and economic development campaign that really infused a lot of excitement, energy, and some resources into making that happen. So what we did is that we actually created a 3-part program. We did first, the brand itself. We created Digital DC, a social media launch as well, and a dedicated website and events that we sponsored. The second piece is that we created a tech corridor that starts at 7th and New York Avenue and goes up 7th through Georgia to Petworth, up to Kansas, and there's a couple blocks on either side. And then finally, we created DC's first tech fund, which is giving grants of $25,000 up to $200,000 of non-dilutive grants, meaning we don't take any equity, for companies who are willing to locate to that tech corridor. So this is the announcement of the first round of selected grantees.
Wow, that's amazing. And how would a company that's interested in kind of applying for these grants in the future kind of work to do that, if they want to do that or be a part of this in the future?
Well, what I always recommend is that companies can look to our dedicated website, which is digitaldc.co, not .com, and follow us on social media as well. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and as well as Twitter, so they can learn about other opportunities that are coming down the pipeline.
Great. And you have your dedicated website is launching this week, or it's now?
It's actually launched today.
Oh, great. Perfect. And that'll be digitaldc.co. Perfect. And so if they follow you on Twitter, you'll have all that information up there, and that'll be perfect. Thank you so much.
Did you know that DC is well on its way to becoming the Silicon Valley of the East Coast? And helping in that economic development dream is the DC Tech Fund.
We're delighted to be able to be here tonight. I want to thank the DC Tech Meetup organizers for the fantastic job that they have done to be able to help us support the district's burgeoning, growing, whatever word you want to use, tech community. We've come a long ways in a short period of time, and the organizers have really worked hard with us to be able to get to where we are today. How about a big hand for the DC Tech organizers? Our first recipient is Aquacore. Secondly, Azert. Third, Event Cloud. Now, if anybody has the nerve not to show up, we're going to select somebody else, okay? Fourth, FlexSpot. Fifth, My Music. Sixth, Ride. And thank God we got some gender diversity in this one. Seventh, Silica Labs. And just so she doesn't feel like a token. And hope I get this right. Vinyl lovers? Vino lovers. Oh.
After a photo with the mayor, the Tech Fund recipients celebrated their achievements with a party at Lucky Strike.
That's it for today's show, and thanks so much for joining us. For the Washington Full Circle team, I'm Ferman Patterson. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.